Hello, everybody. Today I have a little bit of a different uh, video for you. Recently, my friend Ben Mudge over on More Warhammer did a 40k top 5 video, his top 5 favorite models from Warhammer 40k. And it was fun. It's a short little video, it's fun, it's great. Check it out. I'll put descriptions below. In it, Ben also asked what our favorite models were, and I could have just put in the comments. I did comment on the video. Go like, subscribe, comment to that video, and then also this video. But I said, you know what? I'll just do a response video, but I want to up the game a little bit. I'm gonna do my top 5 40k models, my top 5 favorite 40k models, and then I'm gonna do my top 5 fantasy slash Age of Sigmar models. So to be fair, I could have separated Warhammer Fantasy from Age of Sigmar. There's so many great models, but I figured for now, let's put it together. I don't want this video to be too long, but just want it to be fun one. So, without further ado, number 5 on my top 5 40k favorite models. Boom. The Raven Wing Dark Shroud. Now, I was in love with this model when I first saw it. I've been a Dark Angel player since I started in Warhammer 40k. Of course, now I do Eldari stuff, as you're maybe a little foreshadowing there, but Dark Angels was my first love, and I still love them. And actually, it was very recently, within the past couple months, when I added this model to my collection. I don't know why. I guess it's more of I always thought this model was cool, but it's never fit the playstyle I was after because I was always more of a Green Wing, that Deathwing style as opposed to a Raven Wing. But still, just like seeing this floating land speeder that's like custom made to carry a piece of the original chapel from the Rock and Caliban and just all this cool stuff. It just like screams the Dark Angel Gothic you view, and I just love it. Yeah, I mean, look at it. It's gorgeous. But let's move on now. Number 4 on my top 5 40k. Boom. As a foreshadow there. I like elves, Eldari in this universe, and the Wraith Knight was just another one of those models. When I saw it, I was like, holy hell. I love everything about this. I'm much like the picture here. I'm the melee variant of mine. I did do a custom spear version as opposed to just the sword and shield, but it still counts as this. But it's towering, it's huge. Towering keyword. Please, please, Games Workshop, get the rules right for this thing because towering is a mess, and you just keep making the points go up and up to the point that it's not fun to play this gorgeous model. I don't. It's good. It should be good, but man, it's just towering. It's walking on there, and please in the comments correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but I believe at least this was the lore I was introduced to it as, whether that's all of it or just maybe it was a specific story. Um, that inside of here is an Eldari pilot, but there's a big soul stone on the back that contains the twin of the pilot. So technically, the twin that died. So essentially, the twin that died is piloting this thing, but then the living twin is in there too. And it's like a conduit, like one's in like pure mourning, and it's somehow that's how this thing does its crazy shenanigans. It's just badass. Like I love it. All right, number 3, top 5 40k favorite models. Yep, back to the Dark Angels. The Lion, my boy returned. He had a nice long nap, but clearly it wasn't enough. Like just like any cat, like they could sleep 8, 10, 12 hours. You wake it up, it's still a little grumpy, especially the older they get. But the Lion's back, and he's here to just kick shit. He, he's just like now we're done with this. We're not doing any of this shenanigans. Like not everyone that left and is fallen from the Dark Angels, but there's some bad ones. We'll kill the bad ones. We'll keep the good ones. Let's get the Emperor's idea back online for whatever that may be. But he's here. That's such a gorgeous model. I love that he came back old. It makes sense, but just I also play Dark Angels in 30k and seeing the parts of that model that they pulled into here, but obviously there's a lot of newer stuff. I love that the Emperor's shield, he has a new sword, which is cool. Wish there was a little bit more lore on how he got the sword. I know it's not supposed to be the Lion sword because That's on Cypher's back. That's a whole other story. But yeah, just seeing the lion back is just so good. All right, pushing on. Number 2, top 5 40K. Yeah, the Void Raven Bomber. You're looking at that right. I can't tell you why that this is one of my favorite ships, and these are in order of my top 5, by the way. Like I have a Void Raven Bomber. I like more than I like the Lion. Just I for some like I even before when I was not a Dark Elf player or a Drukhari player, this is the thing that made me look at Dark Eldar and go, ooh, I want to have this. I have built and painted this model. Well, yeah, I built and painted this model twice. I did a Drukhari army. It, for some reason, wasn't like jiving with me. I don't know what it was. I sold it, got some other stuff, and then years later, pick it back up, find the color scheme I like, have a nice Drukhari army. Kind of right now they're not in a good place, but they're still it's a witch cult, so that's all I do, and these things fit in that. But it's just like just the fact that the lore of this thing, it's the guy up front here. He has built this he's perfected this bomb. Like he's put all his like time and energy. Like some humans out there in the world today, they're restoring old cars or stuff like that, and this guy's building the biggest, best bomb he can. So then he buys a plane. Then he hires the best pilot he can. Says, "Hey, you're flying this thing. I'm dropping this bomb." That's the goal. And this, also GW, and I have relayed this to people on GW Rules team, whether they listen or not, to my passionate pleas. But please make this bomb not suck. It doesn't need to devastate, but the fact that I have to drop this bomb once per game only, and which is fine. That's what the rules are. That's what the lore is. But you drop it, and then everything with so many inches, I still have to roll to hurt them. Like no, it should just be like I drop this bomb in here. It goes 10 inches. Everything inside of it takes D3 mortal wounds. That's all you need. Fits the lore. No, not 4 up. Then it takes D3. Now fuck that. That's stupid. Anyway, this ship is wonderful. I love it, and I kind of want to get one for my Yanari army too. Not gonna lie, probably will do that. Anyway, number 1, my favorite 40K model of all time. It's not some old classic one, and trust me, I have a bunch of old classic models. But I fell in love with this character much in the same way I fell in love with some other characters of similar ilk within the Warhammer setting. That would be Yvraine. I absolutely adored the story. I love how she helped bring Gilliman back. I love how she's still slightly mistrusted. I like how she's essentially like that this is a story of hope with her. That they don't have to die as a race to defeat Slanesh. That they can do it early. It's going to take some sacrifices, but it's not the whole race of the Eldari don't have to die out to birth, Yanari, so, or Bill, wow, Iniad, to go and defeat Slanesh, that they can do it early, and that she found a way, and she's conduit for this god. And the story of hope is just so rare in Warhammer 40K that like that lore, strong female character, like it's just everything I love. That's the tropes. Like hope, cool character. She got a kitty. I like cats. So yeah, absolute all-time favorite. I have this model obviously in my Yanari army, and I've kit bashed it into my Daughters of Cain army as my Terathi Bride of Cain model. So and that's the other thing too. I guess in all this, I should probably include my Terathi models. But since they're not stock standard, I left them out because I've kit bashed so many of them. There it is. Ben, there is my top 5. Ben and everybody, there's my top 5 favorite Warhammer 40K models currently. Who knows? Things might change in the future here as I take a sip of tea. Oh, that's so good. Some green tea. But anyway, we should move on to my top 5 Warhammer Fantasy / Age of Sigmar models. So boom, let's just get right into it. And I will say this, I've been in fantasy land more often than I have been in sci-fi land, but I've been around for a little bit, so here we go. Number 5, Korhil, my boy. This is a classic sculpt. His story is cool. He went out like a Chad, I guess you could say. He did his best. He was never like a prime central character, but just he kind of broke the mold for like being against the grain. Like he's an elf, and elves, like they're fine and normal, but he was like a fucking elf, like strangled the magical white line on his back, bare hands. His axes wouldn't go through, so he's like, I'll choke the bitch. And it worked. He's super cool. I just absolutely love him. He's a cool model. He's like I said, he's a woodsman. He's just a badass elf, and I love his story. I keep hoping, like it's hard. I don't want them to just bring everybody into Age of Sigmar. Like they brought Eltharion in. Obviously the gods are coming in, the ones that were the incarnates, the end times. That makes sense, and you'll see them on occasion. I would love to see a Core come back, but I would actually not Core himself, because he went out, had a good ending. I would like to see like a new take on the concept. Whether like it's someone Teclis found his journal and some of something like I don't want it to be Core, but I want it to be Core esque, like a rebrand, a reintroduction of that character type into like the elf army. And I think there's room to do it. Obviously, we could do it with the cow elves with the Lumineth, but we'll see. Anyway, number 4, favorite Sigmar / fantasy models. Yeah, yeah. If you know me, Marathi was gonna be on this list at some point. As much as I like her old model, I just can't. And yeah, this is cheating. There's 2 in there. If I had to pick one of these 2, I'd be the Marathi Kane, the small Marathi model. Um, it's just so powerful. The stance, it's just it's just great. Like I still get kind of speechless when I see this model. Like it's so good. I have it right there. I love it. Um, it's weird. I don't play her often because it's just how my army list kind of work. Every time I put her down on the board, I'm like, damn, this feels good. Can't kill me for 2 turns. Let's go. Yeah, but like she's powerful. She was just a joy to paint. I would love. Actually, I did paint her twice because I actually bought this model again, and it's part of my terrain. I made it statues of them. I would like to get another small Marathi model and put it on the back of a new cauldron, because I'm hoping that they continue and actually give us new avatars, because Marathi's now introducing herself as the avatar of Cain, because she's Marathi Cain. She's the god, and it's fine. Don't ask questions. Anyway, Marathi Cain. She's definitely on this list. Number 4 here. Number 3, yeah. um, I'm in love with all of the daughters of Cain. So let's preface that. Whereas with the uh, Sylvaneth, I saw Lariel's model, bought her, and put an army around her because she was so gorgeous. Um, like once again, just like Marathi, very powerful character, great history from the old world. I think, and I've if you go to my blog strengthhammer.net, I've done lore articles on all the elven gods, their histories from the old world up, and kind of like a little retrospective on their character. I think Lariel had the best character arc ever. She really grew from like that weak innocent child type thing to like this all powerful being that he has the thighs of a thunder god. Like it's just exceptional. Her model's great. It was a joy to paint. The beetle's fun. My skills didn't give the beetle's good on my end for my beetle. I wish I had better skill to do it more justice, but it's also a very easy thing to repaint. So we'll see in the future. But a great model made me buy a whole army. So moving on to number 2 of the top 5 of my fantasy Sigmar. Handmaiden of the Everqueen. Back to the High Elves, because I was originally a High Elf player, as you could probably tell here. So, just it's a shame that this model only ever came out in Finecast. I have it. Obviously, I have all these models. Um, I have one. I wish I had another one. I'm hoping they do a re-release of her, maybe even better material. It's just it was just so cool. Like it's like I'm a cop out. Like you're like looking, it's like Chuck really likes strong female characters. Yeah, I sure do. They're fun. Um, but yeah, like just she fit every aspect of high elves in the armor, but she blended it with that whole Averlorn type feel, because like, she's got the full chainmail, but she's got the high ponytail, the spear, and it's like almost like that. You can kind of see like where the wood elves went from this, because they're the more nature. I just like it. It's a strong, powerful stance. I would love to have a chance to paint this model again. I hope they re-release it in some form. I think think it was Darren Latham that sculpted this. I just love it. I would absolutely love to get my hands on another one of these, even though it's fine cast, and paint it up because it's just fun. All right, number one, my favorite fantasy Sigmar model of them all. If you know me personally, you know which one's coming. And you might be like, "Whoa, that's a weird pick," but I'll explain why. The Dark Elf Sorceress. This humble little $15 kit. Why is it my favorite? Because this is kind of the model that made me go, kind of like Dark Elves. Like you say, it's strong, it's powerful. Uh, it is a joy to paint. This model made me not afraid of flesh paint. Honestly, you can easily, like, I have one, even like my emergency one, right there, right there. That's literally that kit on screen right now. I always keep one just in pocket, and the reason why is I have probably bought this kit over a dozen times and have kit bashed it across a bunch of armies. If it's an elf army, chances are this model's kit bashed into at some point or will be in the future. And that's why it's my favorite kit, because like I say, it looks good. It was one that sparked my interest in Dark Elves even before the whole Witch Elf thing and Daughters of Cain came out. And it's so easy to build and kit bash. I just love it. Like that strong outreaching hand. It's simple, and its simplicity is what makes me love it so much. But there we have it. There are my top 5 fantasy and Age of Sigmar models. So I hope you like this. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough on both ends of the spectrum between the sci-fi and the fantasy end. I would put the challenge out to anybody. Let me know in the comments below. What's your top 5 for any game system, really? List them out. Or if you want to do a response video, please let me know. Tag me, tag Ben. It's a great idea from Ben. Actually, I'll throw the challenge out to you, Ben. What's your top 5 Age of Sigmar or fantasy models? You let me know, and hopefully we just keep this crazy train rolling. Anyway, everybody, happy hobbying, stay Stormcast strong, and I'll see you in the next video.